Welcome to my channel. It's Corelli, and it's episode 343 of my Cat Vibe series. Today we're painting Tunnels, Bleeding Life. The cover art for Tunnels, Bleeding Life. As you can see, this is a much larger painting as compared to my smaller canvas panels. This is actually a stretched canvas, which is the third painting in the Sun City 1 series of paintings, the first series of paintings. The reason why it's series 1 is because I plan on returning back to this story over and over again multiple times. I just can't capture every element of the story in such a limited number of paintings. It's simply impossible. So there's going to be a lot more. There's going to be smaller paintings, there's going to be larger paintings, landscapes, imagery, all sorts of things. I still remember this dream in intricate detail, because the whole story comes from a dream, actually, from 2013, which was like more than 10 years ago, 11 years ago already. It was an extremely vivid dream, and I remember this story. I actually plan on writing a book based on this story. I'm currently working on an album, a musical album. And then I think this album will also have, materials attached to it, like a series of paintings, but it's also not going to be the only series of paintings. I will draw smaller illustrations, I will paint multiple series, and it's its own world. It's a very strange dream world, but there is so much about it and so much to it that I think it asks of me to return to it over and over again. Even with this one painting, as it pertains to Tunnels, Bleeding Life, I had to condense things a lot for the song, for the lyrics, even though the song itself is 10 minutes long. And that's, the minimum, the bare minimum that I could boil it down to. In the dream, it's a lot longer. There is a lot more detail to it, and I can't depict all of it in one single painting. So I'll return, even the chapter, let's say the chapter Tunnels, Bleeding Life, this chapter, I will have to return to it multiple times and paint a whole variety of paintings just for this one part of the story. There's a lot to say, there's a lot to paint, there's a lot to depict, there is a lot to convey. A lot of subtleties, a lot of detail, a lot of environment, whatever I saw in that dream, a lot of that stuff, a lot of the symbolism. And it will take time. So I already know that Sun City album, which is also going to be Sun City, or maybe I'll call that book The Sun City, or something, just maybe Sun City, I have no idea. It's a very rich mine, and I will mine this subject for years to come. It's not just a matter of this one album that I will release. Maybe I'll return or reference this reality of this story, this universe, in future albums. It might happen. But I will most definitely, in my painting, I will go back to this story and I will drill down and I will develop concepts and I will paint based on that. And then also I'm going to write a whole book. And I think that most likely I will write it in 2 languages. I'll write it in English and in Russian. The trick here is going to be that I'll be writing it both in English and in Russian at the same time, so I won't be translating from one language to another, but rather I will just narrate it slightly differently in 2 languages, because the language of the narration is going to be different. It's going to be the same story, but the way it's going to be conveyed is going to be different. Tunnels Bleeding Life is coming out tonight. This video drops, gosh, I don't even remember when does this video drop. Oh, it drops on December 16th. Right. It drops on December 16th. So by the time now that you're hearing me speak, I was recording this on November 21st, just before the single actually was about to drop. And here I'm painting this. And when did I paint this? Let me tell you. October 9th. Yeah, October 6th, I see. I started this painting and I finished on October 14th. Basically, it took me a week, almost a week. I've already painted the respective painting for the High Sky single. And that one is gonna drop when? Let me tell you. I'll tell you right now, I have it right in front of my eyes. Well, that one I have scheduled for January 3rd. That video is gonna drop on January 3rd. That's crazy, isn't it? The painting is already painted. But, yeah, I'll be reducing this gap come late January, February. Because this is just nuts, really. Otherwise, I'll end up with showing you footage voiced, dubbed 3 months later or 4 months later, while the videos will be popping up another 3-4 months later, which would be even, I'll end up with a gap of half a year, basically. Which, again, is not a bad thing. It gives me some time. It gives me some time to edit. It gives me some time to do stuff. After all, I need to paint all these paintings, and I need to not feel the pressure of having to just churn out content all the friggin' time. Now, as a YouTuber, I'm supposed to post on a regular basis. That's just how it is. Everybody who has a YouTube channel and tries to grow knows this. Speaking of which, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you like my content. If you're subscribed, please enable all notifications. Hit that bell notification, please. That will help my channel to grow. Thank you. So as a YouTuber, I do know that I'm supposed to post on a regular basis. And that's precisely what I'm doing here. Otherwise, it's not going to work. But as an artist, I have to pace myself in such a way and give myself time to just freely paint at whatever pace I want. So I need to have some sort of a gap between when I'm actually painting things and when I publish them. So some gap is okay, but I'm just marveling at how ridiculous it's going to become very soon. Anyways, I'm going to be returning to every chapter of this story. This is how I tend to see this nowadays. It's not going to be just songs. It's going to be chapters. That's how I think of them. These are chapters of a future book. And at the same time, they are songs, as they are released one by one. But these are highly condensed songs, which they gloss over a lot of detail. They gloss over a lot of the narrative and a lot of the things that happen there. The song operates on a different level. It's not a novel, after all. And it's a very condensed form. It's like the difference between writing a novel and actually writing a whole lot of poems. There's a difference. There are strengths, there are pros, and there are cons to each medium. Just like with painting, there are some strengths to this, and then there is, it's static. It's not dynamic, unlike music. So And I'm super excited about this because it will allow me visually to develop characters, to flesh out concepts, to depict a lot of things in a lot of intricate detail that I wish I could show because I've seen it. And I think it's fascinating. And there's the finished painting. There we go. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, ciao.